What's the good word, everybody? It's your boys, DKBxJets. We got Italy Jet. We got Gunny Gumby and New York Jets situation reporting here. Jets Evening Brew, Jets Flight Squad. We in the building and we got a crazy Monday that we're coming into as always, right? So Gino, you seem to have known the most about this issue dropping off, but give, give us the rundown of this whole Zach Wilson reluctant to play situation.
Before Gunny goes on a 5-minute rant, before you go on a 3-minute rant, I'll just say I'll just say what I have to say. First off, I'm looking really good. I like complimenting myself. I look good with the hair, with the
I appreciate
goatee,
a
with the
solid
shave.
fade.
I think I look really good. I look like a mob boss or like a GM somewhere. Um, no, honestly, I don't. I know situations are coming out with the Athletic with Zach Rosenblatt and Deanna Rossini, and their article was really nice. I really liked what the Connor Hughes said about this situation over the years. I see it from both sides of Zach and the Jets, but I just want to say every single time with the quarterback the last 10 years, it's always been an issue with the QB position, whether it's culture, development, strategy, schemes. So, like I said, I'm 50-50 on the coaching staff. I'm 50-50 with Zach Wilson. I know Gunny has a lot to say about this. I know we've been group chatting it all, but I think overall, Zach Wilson, as of now, because we just don't know the full story yet. Like I'm waiting for another story to come out. But I think if I'm in Zach Wilson's shoes, I would say fuck y'all. If I'm in the coaching staff shoes, I'd be like, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Come on. But like I said, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I want to see the other shoe. That's just me.
Yeah, so well, when I heard all of this, my initial thought, of course, was sadness. Right? This is I think when I watched Ian from Jet Central, because I don't have the Twitter and all that, right? So I had to immediately find out what people knew. There's inept, there's trash, right? And then wherever the mole people live at, and then whatever's under that is where Jets fans are. Like
Yeah.
this organization finds new creative ways to hit the lowest of the low. And so in the big picture of things, you have a quarterback that you wanted to have a red shirt season. You never wanted to see him see the field. You did everything in your power to not bring in a competent quarterback that would basically a competent quarterback that wouldn't hurt Zach Wilson's feelings, right? Here's what an average NFL starter looks like. Here's the separation of talent between the two of you. Then you bench him for the third or fourth time in 2 years in a row. Then we get the report that he's reluctant to play. So you mean to tell me the guy that is the guy that is one of the worst statistical quarterbacks in history, as so much so to say that he's worse than some of the worst backup quarterbacks in the NFL, doesn't want to play for your franchise, or at least he has concerns about it. That tells me everything I need to know. And this is why I've been so hyped up on the fact that I don't see how people don't get fired this season. The worst, the worst motherfucker in the NFL at his position doesn't want to play for your franchise. The two guys that everybody, and I'm in this boat, we wanted to see Tim Boyle, we wanted to see Trevor Siemian. The people we thought can at least maybe give us a jump start in this offense. Tim Boyle has played the way his career has turned out, a 1-in-4 touchdown and interception ratio. He's moving the ball somewhat, but it's not like it's, leagues better than Zach. Then you get to Trevor, who we signed over a month ago. We had no idea why he was stuck on the practice squad. He finally comes into a game and you get the most turnovers of basically any quarterback on this Jets roster in less than a full quarter. I don't even know what the hell I can say to be optimistic at this point. This reflects so poorly on everybody that has any kind of critical say in the decision making and building this roster. I would literally strip the whole thing apart. I know I've kind of said it already before, but literally, I don't know how you create a better footnote or a headline for a franchise other than the worst quarterback in the NFL doesn't want to play for you. Where the hell does that leave us? Because not only does that impact us right now, because originally this video was going to be a discussion about if we should bring Zach Wilson back, but now you have to ask yourself if he's calling it in right now already, which not only means he doesn't have faith in this offensive coaching staff to get him on the right track, it means that even the worst quarterback says, I can't do shit to help out this offense. What the hell do we do in the future? Because the plan was to give this guy the keys after Aaron Rodgers was done, which almost means you have to go and find somebody. Doesn't mean it needs to be in the draft. It could be free agency, but you essentially have to find a new person now. And then where does that leave Aaron Rodgers? Because he's already going to have most of the guys that he wanted in gone next year. Then the guy that you wanted to be your predecessor, he's essentially going to be gone now too. Whether we plan on cutting him or not, he's essentially already made the decision for the Jets. I don't want no drama. Cut me. Call it a day.
Is this my turn yet? Can I say something?
Shoot, my man. Shoot.
Oh, look, this is absolutely comical. I can't even, like, I saw the tweet come out and all I could do was laugh. All I could do was laugh because this literally embodies who we are as an organization, who the New York Jets are as an organization. A joke. You couldn't say any better, DK. The worst statistical quarterback since, of all time. There's never been one that's worse in terms of a first rounder who was expected to go ahead and come in there and change the franchise around, has rejected the New York Jets. I'm good. I want nothing to do with playing time or playing for you guys. I have my reservations. He has reservations about this team. That's how pathetic of an organization we have. But I still think, unfortunately, that we're going to see the same freaking staff roll out next year. You're going to see Salah. You're going to see Joe. You're going to see freaking Hackett, the hack, be the OC. Because we put all our eggs in one basket. We decided that Aaron Rodgers was going to be the co-GM of this team. And I don't believe anybody on this team has the balls to tell Aaron Rodgers no. I don't. And if that's the case, Woody is not going to go ahead and risk pissing off his prized acquisition from last year. We know the New York Jets won the offseason, and when it mattered the most, they've continued to lose and lose and lose. Like, this to me was – and you know what? You know what's crazy? I don't blame Zach. I don't blame him. I think after back-to-back years of taking these L's, having to stand in front of the media and take hits, this fan base berating him, we've all done it. Like, at this point,
we've all done it. Yeah,
we've all done it, right? Like, at this point, it's there's the money aspect, and then there's you're a man, right? And at one point or another, the man is going to step up and say, "Nah, enough is enough. You can go fuck yourself." And that's exactly what Zach is doing right now. And I'm not mad at the kid. I'm not, because the true culprit continues to evade freaking public scrutiny, which is Joe Douglas. I've said it out loud. I'll say it again. Joe Douglas has put us in the situation that we're all arguing about these little scapegoats, but he's built this team. We don't just give him credit for the one side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Like, he's built this team. Like, this is Joe Douglas's roster. And on the offensive side, it's been completely inept. I thought that was quite comical. And honestly, I hope Zach Wilson doesn't take another snap for the New York Jets. And I think I'm starting to believe if Zach Wilson plays for another team with help around him, to include a legitimate offensive coordinator, maybe an offensive line that can go ahead and stay on the field together for more than 2 freaking games, and a legitimate wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1. Like, I think Zach Wilson can be a serviceable backup in this league, if not starter, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm starting to really question whether everything we've been saying about Zach is not more his surroundings than anything else. And for me to be in this position, to have to say that, is frustrating that we still don't have the answers, which means I can only blame one person. I blame you, Joe Douglas. You're in year 5. The team you put together, I believe, offensively, trash, right? You had a couple of good picks in Garrett, Breece Hall, After that, you know what I'm saying, we're still trying to figure it out. AVT, when he's healthy, we like him. Right now, Tippmann looks like he could be a freaking home run hit in terms of the offensive line. He's done some pretty good things over the last couple of games. But when it boils down to it, the defensive side of the ball seems to be on point, which I allude back to the fact that I think those are all Coach Salah's guys. I think Coach Salah had every word or to say about the defensive side of the game. It's his area of expertise, and he's been able to go ahead and bring in individuals he knows can be impactful. Offensively, wasn't his repertoire. He trusted Joe Douglas to do that. And Joe Douglas, who's an offensive lineman by trade, who we thought was going to come in here and fix the offensive line and get things figured out, has yet to go ahead and field the same offensive line for more than 9 games in a season since becoming our general manager. People are talking about, like, getting an offensive lineman in the draft. Why? So they can play 4 or 5 games? So they might not wind up good enough. Ultimately, at some point or another, you got to start looking at it. Is the conditioning of these guys to blame? Is it the field, the turf? We just saw freaking Lambeau last night. 5 injuries happened in that game, 4 of them being lower freaking body injuries, and it's on freaking grass. So we can talk about this, that, and the other, but I do believe the conditioning component has a lot to say with why we have so many injuries in the NFL. But nonetheless, Joe Douglas is public enemy number 1, and this just reaffirms that. Zach Wilson, the worst statistical quarterback in the history of the NFL, has told the New York Jets, nah, I'm good. I think I'll sit this one out. It's just too funny that we're here. But yeah, ultimately, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather Zach stay on the sidelines as well. It gives us a better chance to go ahead and get that top 4 pick. And if he's in there with how erratic he is, he might accidentally win us a game between now and the end of the season. We can't have that. So, yeah, man, more power to Zach, Doug. Like him saying, "Nah, I'm good." I'm surprised he did it, but I'm not even mad at the kid because I understand it.
There's just a lot of things going on right now, especially Twitter right now. Evidently, Diana Rossini deleted a tweet from one of her coworkers. She quoted the tweet, and it's now been deleted. So I'm still have a lot more questions about this. So now I'm like, okay, great. But overall, Zach Wilson's going to go to the team. He's going to go to the team. He's going to be a backup. He's going to be second, third string. Someone's going to develop him. I don't know if it's going to be with the Eagles. I don't know if it's going to be with Vikings. I don't know if it's going to be with the Florida team. I don't know. But overall, yes, his time here is over. After this, there's no way I would want to play for this team after this. There's no way. And the thing is, what is even appealing to come here anymore? It's not even appealing right now to come here right now.
Yeah, I mean, I tried earlier to give my optimism before in past shows. We still got Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall, for how inept he's look, we know he's still a running back 1. Is hard to run behind anything that looks like our offensive line. I keep wanting to say Tyler Conklin is maybe a low-key top 10 tight end, but we have seen in certain games where he actually gets significant value, that he doesn't turn that into, huge games. I think he had 9 targets last night. I got to still go back and actually watch it, though I didn't even bother to tune in. I'm pissed that I wasted my $100 to go and try to watch all 22 tapes of this team this season with how the shit has turned out. Absolutely pissed. But yeah, right now, I don't know how you sell any free agents on coming to the New York Jets to try to help rebuild things. You still have Aaron Rodgers. It's great. If anything, and this goes against how you build an NFL hierarchy in terms of coaching staff and front office, I would say, hey, Joe Douglas, in terms of being a talent evaluator, solid, plus guy. I still purely believe that. When it comes to that offensive coaching staff, I would split it up like this. Hey, Robert Saleh obviously owns the defense. You see how they play. You've seen how they played for 13 weeks with their offense being historically terrible, right? So we're solid in that area. Offensively, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best minds in football. Don't worry about Hackett and them. Things are going to run through Aaron Rodgers. We go as he says. And that's the way I kind of felt with Aaron Rodgers coming in, anyways. Before we even got Hackett, was that if he made it here, we're not going to have a normal coaching staff structure. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers, and it's going to be everybody else listening to that man, because you've proven for the last 20 years you have no idea what the hell you're doing. We haven't had a modern NFL offense since fucking Fitz tragic. And he couldn't win us the one game that we needed to. Like,
right.
I can't even wrap my mind around trying to help this team anymore at this point. Like,
we
even
can't keep
getting
making
into
excuses anymore. There's no excuses anymore.
I'm not even an excuse guy, but like, even thinking about the off season, which is when I get happy. Hey, certain free agents we can get, draft picks. It doesn't matter anymore, because it ultimately feels like the offense is going to waste any semblance of good talent that we bring in, whether people end up getting injured or you just don't get a guy that's playing up to expectations or even playing outside of where he's drafted. We just can't seem to get it right. Our best case scenario is when we get certain plays. Xavier Gibson's touchdown return against the Bills, Jason Brownlee balling out in the preseason. Like, once the preseason's over, the hype is done for the Jets. Like, I can't remember a stretch of games offensively where I said, hey, you know what? The league needs to be feared. They need to be on notice. We are to be feared, at least in this certain category. Like, even the Rex Ryan days, you'd say, well, shit, Sean Green's out there. I mean, we got Dalvin Cook and shit, but we can't run. Like, even on some of those bad offensive lines, as pieces started going away, to Brickashaw Ferguson and Nick Mangold retiring and all that, like, we were still pretty solid in the rushing department. So I'm pretty pissed at this point all the way around. And this just kind of put the cherry on top for me that this is going to be the way our season goes down. We're going to be historically the worst of the worst. I thought there was a chance maybe we slide away from that. The worst of the worst. I have no faith in this coaching staff to do anything next year. I purely believe any success we have is going to be behind Aaron Rodgers. And to previous statements I made, I don't have any faith in our offense after Aaron Rodgers decides to call it in. And to top it all off, there's no guarantee that Aaron Rodgers, after sitting for a couple of months in the offseason, wants to return to the Jets.
Yeah, he can still call it quits, like, all the way up until training camp.
Hey, my boy Zach Wilson no longer wants to be here. The 5 guys that I brought in, they've been healthy scratches, are terrible. I'm not interested in trying to turn that around. And you guys are going to struggle to bring in free agents. And I'm still, as much as I hate it, I'm still of the mindset that we need to have 100% offensive draft class. So then you're talking about surrounding him with a ton of rookies.
Yes, 100%.
So all the way around, the Jets are kind of fucked. Like, nothing really meshes well, we don't have a clear semblance of a plan for how we fix this thing going forward.
I mean, according to Tankathon, we are ranked 6th right now. And I'm about ready to put my Jets stuff in the closet right now. That's where I'm at.
All I know is that we have the potential to have the 3rd overall pick this year in the draft. And that's exciting, right? I feel like MHJ is just going to be sitting there screaming our names, like, come get me, because then he has no choice. We don't have to worry about a free agent coming into town. If MHJ has no choice, we drafted you, bitch. You're playing for us. And that's how it works. I look at this team, man, and you're right. Like, in all actuality, man, like, we have a limited window with Aaron Rodgers, I think. And again, this is if Aaron Rodgers even comes back to like 80% of what he was, 2 years ago. Because we did see him last year kind of take a step backwards. We all said it was the injury, it was the drop passes and whatnot, which all played a role. But we still don't know if that was more his story showing a decline or if, in fact, that, it was the staff around him. But we look at the side that we currently have now, and do we have the confidence that we're not going to see a lot of drop passes? I mean, the New York Jets, I think, are 3rd this year right now in drop passes. Even Garrett Wilson decided he was going to have a case of the dropsies this season. So there needs to be an influx of talent on the offensive side of the football. I think the New York Jets need to bring in MHJ. I think the New York Jets need to look
That's
at
my
Calvin
number one
Ridley or Mike
target.
Evans. Yep.
My number one target.
People will say the offensive line, but when you do the research, there hasn't been an impactful offensive tackle taken in the first round in the last 5 years. The game has changed for offensive linemen. They're not doing the things that allow them to transition smoothly to the NFL level. You see them struggling quite a bit. By the time they come around in year 2, year 3, it's too late. Aaron Rodgers will be gone. So let's take a page from the freaking Miami Dolphins. Let's take a page from the freaking Bengals when Joe Burrow took the team to the Super Bowl. Get playmakers around your quarterback that can allow him to get the ball out of his hands fast, like quickly, and let them go do the damage. I think Aaron Rodgers' ability to go ahead and freaking pre-snap, you know what I'm saying, make a decision on where he's going with the ball is going to go a long way more so than getting an offensive lineman into the building. I want MHJ. And I was saying Devontae Adams because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a say in that aspect, right? I think Devontae might want to come be a Jet. I don't know for sure. But again, I think I was talking to Tigo earlier about it. I'm with him 100%. I don't want to give up assets to bring in anybody when we have limited assets because the rebuild will be starting the moment Aaron Rodgers retires. So give me Calvin Ridley. Give me freaking Mike Evans, right? Give me one of those guys. A couple of that dude with Garrett Wilson and freaking MHJ. Shit, bro. Like, now you're talking about a freaking offense that's going to make people really, really upset. Because you still got Breece Hall back there. You still got Izzy, who can go ahead and run the ball. And when you make freaking defenses play honest, because they got to cover every blade of grass, I think Aaron Rodgers can get the ball out of his hands fast enough to where an offensive line woes might not be an issue. And if we're being honest, if the offensive line gets healthy, because that's really been the biggest culprit for us over the last 4 years, are we really upset about an offensive line that has freaking AVT in it, Tippmann in it? I think Becton comes back next year. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think Bakatari is going to be a freaking New York Jet in the offseason. I think that's going to be a potential add. Now, I see DK's face, and I mean, guess you're saying that because of the injury, right, DK? He hasn't played any games for the last 3 years.
Been I think he's serviceable, but he's been on the decline for the last 3 to 4 years. So if we go the free agency route, I expect us to stick to Joe Douglas's normal plan of investing guys with a high upside. An aging veteran with a bad injury history that's been playing worse and worse each year doesn't really check the boxes for me.
All right, so let me go ahead and
see it happening like that though.
Bakatari is 32 years old, so I wouldn't call him aging. We brought in significantly older guys to play on the offensive line. 32 years old, and before 2020, before the ACL tear, missed 5 games out of 112. Of those 5 games, 3 of them he missed them because they're arresting starters. Do we know why he went back into surgery again this season and why he hasn't played this past year?
I'm pretty sure I dropped a video on it in the offseason, but I don't remember what the hell it was about.
So the same knee. This is the same exact knee. It's not like the other knee or the same exact knee, right? Is going back in for surgery again because apparently after 2 years of dealing with, having fluids removed, swelling removed, fluids removed from the knee, and pain medication to take care of it, he finally went and got another freaking surgeon or doctor to look at it last year or this year. And they realized that the freaking original surgery on that ACL tear, there was only 10 to 15% of the damaged meniscus removed. So the other 85% of the meniscus was not removed, and it's been causing inflammation. It's been causing him pain and discomfort. So he had to go back in to clean up the original 2020 ACL repair because the surgeon was trash. So the last freaking 3 years, as weird as it sounds, it's more along the lines of that he had a bad surgeon, vice him having an injury-prone type of, all of a sudden turnaround. So because of that, he's a 5-time All-Pro. And the last All-Pro was literally in his 2019 season. He was on road to do it again in 2020 before the ACL tear with 12 games into the season. I don't think this is a scrub. I think we're seeing what happened in the last freaking 3 years because he's become limited due to the fact that he had a shoddy surgeon take care of that ACL tear. And for me, I'll bet money on an all-pro caliber guy all day. If this surgery is clean and done the right way, then I would with the majority of the other guys that are going to be available for us in terms of, healthy, but they're in that mid range. I don't need Bakatari to go ahead and play for us for the next 5 years, but if he's going to give us the next 1 or 2 with freaking Aaron Rodgers at the helm, I'll take it. Especially somebody who understands how Aaron Rodgers moves in the pocket, and if they clean up the injury and the knee and it's no longer an issue for him, that's a win-win across the board. I know a lot of people have been saying the same thing you're saying, DK. The injury. My wife being a Packers fan is the only reason why I know how bad it was, because she was the one that said, like, y'all know, like, it's the same freaking knee, and it's because it was a crap job from the original surgeon. And, of course, I had to look it up for myself, and I was like, oh, damn, did not realize that. But Bakatari, to me, I think right now, because of that injury history, is going to be a value, like a value add. Because no one's going to want to go ahead and bring him in because they're concerned about it. But in all actuality,
we would still need to trade for him, right?
Yeah.
No, they're not paying him $40 million. He's getting released.
He'll be
$41
gone. Yeah,
million
he's going to get
is
released,
what he's
right?
There's no way. No way.
They will eat that up. Then they don't care. They will release him 100%.
They'll let him go. Yeah, it's $41 million
100%.
cap hit if he's on the roster come June. They're not going to do
that. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot worse.
It's crazy, dude.
Somebody finally agrees. Yeah, I mean, again, it's probably not the route I would like to see us go, but as we've seen in the last couple of years, for lack of better options, it's probably the best thing. And ultimately, if Aaron Rodgers is going to be at the helm, go all in on what he's comfortable with, I guess. Outside of bringing the current cast of guys that we brought in back, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to need to take the week to get my head back on straight, because right about now, you can't tell me anything about us having success next year and me wholeheartedly believing in it.
No,
this is why I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers play.
Has switched everything this year and next year. So it's going to be very
all I'm saying is, this is why I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers play this year, because if he plays this year and he looks like he can't carry this offense, I think it's going to destroy our offseason as Jets fans. And if you're going to destroy my whole freaking 2024, I would rather it start in August vice January.
We're going to get it both. There's no way. There's no way. We're going to get it both.
Fuck, this is rough. Yeah, I'm trying to think about why it even makes sense to care about his practice window right now.
Yeah, leaving him practice window, so
leaving him activated versus shutting him down really doesn't make a world of difference to me. Like, yeah, he's helping out in practice and all of that. It's cool. I'm all for it. If that's the reason they want to keep him active, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Continue to try to get the guys like Gibson, Brownlee, Ruckert, try to help out those guys that we expected to be solid, get them some extra work. But I did find it interesting. I think, I can't remember where I've seen this at, but I guess Aaron Rodgers had an interview or a press conference or something, or maybe it was just a side quote that somebody captured. But Aaron Rodgers was saying, like, I want to see my guys stay in terms of the coaching staff, but he doesn't have any something along the lines of basically he doesn't have any exact say so in like keeping their job security safe like most of us are expecting. Maybe it's kind of BS, but also I don't really see Aaron Rodgers generally like tiptoeing the political line these days. He hasn't really given a shit in a while. So I don't know what that's about. Like, if we see heads start the roll in the coaching staff room, you guys think that's going to signal major changes right away?
Absolutely.
In terms of what, like Aaron Rodgers?
Nah, so it could be anybody on the offensive side, right? Well, let's just say it's Robert Saleh. It could be Nathaniel Hackett, fucking Rob Calabrese for whatever reason he's still here, whoever. But if we see a coaching fire, would you guys think that signals major changes coming?
No. I think a little, but not. I'm going to take back my absolutely. I think a little bit, but not terribly a lot.
I think the only thing that signals there's a bunch of change coming is if Joe Douglas gets fired. If Joe Douglas gets fired, then I'll be like, oh, snap. Hold on to your hats. Some changes are coming. But if it's like Coach Saleh, if it's Hackett, I don't think they'll let her go of Ulbrich. I mean, the defense is the only thing that's been a bright spot for this team. But, yeah, unless it's freaking Joe, I don't think there's much of a change in terms of major impact, right? But Coach Saleh, who I think now has proven to be more of a motivational speaker than a head coach, like I'm starting to go ahead and sour on him as well. The lack of discipline we've seen from this freaking defense week in and week out is just becoming just a trend. And you got to stop freaking. You got to stop making excuses for it. But for me, the real change that needs to be done is Hackett needs to go right now. Bring in a competent freaking OC and speak to Aaron Rodgers and say, "Look, Doug, your boy's trash. Your boy's trash. He wasn't going to help you next year. You're going to have to play OC and quarterback at the same time. We're literally trying to go ahead and make this as easy for you as possible because Rodgers is getting older. I don't think he can carry a team the way he used to be able to carry a team. We're going to have to be able to put some pieces around him. And yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie to you that the last year being one of the worst years of his career. I mean, granted, would be great numbers for the Jets. It's bad for a guy like Aaron Rodgers. I think we are going to need to support him more than we want to admit to ourselves. And if the Jets don't make push to do so in terms of weapons, like an MHJ, like adding freaking Ridley or adding Mike Evans, I struggle to see how with this current roster he's able to go ahead and do what he wants to do. The talent's not there. After Garrett Wilson and Gibson, it's question marks in that wide receiver room. I think Dalvin Cook is obviously cooked. Like we've all seen that. He's done. So you got Brees and then you got freaking Izzy. And I'm still a big fan of Tyler Conklin. And even Ruckert, man. Like I don't think we've seen enough about him, but I think we need to kind of like slow down a little bit and giving the kid so much praise when we have no idea what he really is. I think he's just a fan favorite. There's a lot of question marks in terms of the playmakers that Aaron Rodgers has at his disposal that I didn't have last year when the offseason. I thought we were solid. Now I'm just sitting here like, wow, there's still a lot of freaking unknowns about what to expect.
Yeah, literally everything's up in the air. I'd be surprised about pretty much anything, whether we cut the coaching staff in the front office, whether we keep them. Like, again, keeping an eye to the future, everything's very confusing to me because if you want to keep Joe Douglas, cut the coaching staff, you create an entire playbook around Aaron Rodgers. So now you have nothing until you bring in somebody, right? And I would prefer to actually go the college route, considering the way, how am I to say this? Considering the way the talent coming in has been, I think it would be a better experiment to go the route of seeing a successful college head coach or offensive coordinator work through a system that you can develop some pro scout concepts for, but you've seen success in the NFL for. You have Aaron Rodgers, ideally, which means he's going to be able to go out there and run anything anyways. If that doesn't go and you go the proven route of somebody that's already in the NFL, you're basically giving them eggshells to walk on because Aaron Rodgers is going to run what he wants to run, and you have to kind of develop a playbook on the fly for whoever else is coming in. Either way, it's a shit show. I mean, ultimately, all the way around, the footnote on this whole thing is it's a shit show all the way around. I think, if anything, what most of the content creators, what most of us need to be coming up with is what a successful game plan for the offseason heading into next year is actually going to look like. Assuming the coaching staff is in play, because I think that's kind of where most of us are at with it. Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, Hackett, everybody runs it back because Aaron Rodgers is here. That probably gives us our best chance at the Super Bowl run, and go from there. But we have a lot of question marks. I mean, I see you guys in the chat with the various names you think we should pick up and all that. Like, it speaks volumes, right? Every quarterback in this draft is basically on the table from what I've seen some of you guys mention. We need a wide receiver. That can't be understated enough or overstated, I guess. And you still have question marks everywhere. When I seen, and I was going to drop a video for this, and I was like, this is outrageous. I couldn't even do it. When I seen an article come out that said, what's our boy's name? Carter Warren is maybe changing. Changing the approach to what we should do at tackle. Oh, like I can't. The man's, it's not like he's been terrible, but he hasn't exactly had like a Max Mitchell type. Yeah, like even Max Mitchell last year, he had a couple solid games. It wasn't anything spectacular, but we was like, okay, maybe he can actually be at least a starter though. I haven't seen anything like that from Carter Warren. It's been good. not great, which is saying more so than anything we've really seen. But to say that we were going
All
to
right,
switch
hold
it
up.
oh
Press
crap,
conference.
Oh,
Press
jeez.
conference.
who's our starter?
Zach Wilson said he wants to play, but he doesn't know if he's going to give the ball to him now. Robert Saleh said Zach Wilson came to him and said he wants the ball. There's other reports coming in, though, so I'm trying to see what I want to see here.
Wait. So
Wait,
Zach Wilson
hold on.
wants to play. He's not sure if Robert Saleh will start him. Wait, is this a Robert Saleh press conference or is this a Zach Wilson?
This is a press. I'm pretty sure this is a press conference. I'm going by what Twitter is doing right now.
Who's doing the press conference though? Is it Zach or Robert?
It's Robert. It's not Zach. This is Robert.
I got you. Yeah, the one thing I hate is our media asks some very crappy questions sometimes. Like we should get much more information than that.
Let's see here.
So I'm looking at Rich Cimini. I'm looking at Tom Pelissero.
So Salah just pretty much stated, first thing he says, foremost, let's be clear. If you were reluctant to play, he wouldn't be here, i.e. he would get cut. So I guess maybe that's hyperbole of what he was saying, what was coming out earlier.
Wait. If Zach was reluctant, he's saying that they would have cut him.
Wouldn't be here. Yeah, they would have cut him. So that's false. They're saying. I mean, I have a hard time believing that's false. But too many people said, whatever. He's saying it was false. Then he goes, Zach Wilson came to him.
Yeah,
talking about.
So I was right about that. Yes.
He says the young man.
But he still. But Saleh said that he doesn't know who he's going to pick yet, right?
Yeah.
That's there, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, he says that Zach Wilson keeps telling him he wants the ball now. Okay, so I mean, it must depend. Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he wants the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants the ball. Yeah, so okay, so it sounds like there might have been some hyperbole spewed out there, but man, I wouldn't have blamed the kid. I really wouldn't have.
Yeah.
In all actuality.
Yeah, this is The Athletic. The Athletic put a lot of that out there.
The Athletic is usually pretty spot on with what they dish out. Though.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying. I feel like this is
Deanna Rossini. This starts with Deanna Rossini, then Zach Rosenblatt.
She was the one that broke a lot of news that ended up being very accurate for us about Aaron Rodgers too.
Accurate. Yep.
What was the last part you guys said?
Yeah, I was saying Diana was the same one that broke a lot of the Aaron Rodgers news early, which turned out to be accurate for us. So she has my faith at this point in time for sure. That's crazy. That's a hell of a flip to go from I was reluctant to play to he wants the ball in his hands.
There's something else going. That's why there's a deleted tweet. That's why there was a deleted tweet with Jeff Howe from The Athletic that Rossini deleted. That's
trying to save face.
That makes sense now.
Franchise is a fucking laughing stock. Look, I've seen better ways that Robert Saleh has tried to spin certain negative shit. He's been able to sweep a lot of things under the rug, but that's not his best attempt.
I don't know.
You know what y'all like? If anything, this is the only thing that pisses me off about Robert Saleh. To a certain point, like, stop beating around the bush with it. Like, your offense is historically dog shit. Like, feed into it. At some point, you just have to feed into it. You haven't had expectations for this since Aaron Rodgers took that fifth step and crumpled. Like,
That's why I said earlier, there's gotta be more to this story. There's
always more.
Whether it's true or false, there's gotta be more to this.
We got Elijah Moore updates up until like 3 months ago still from shit from last year. Like, it's always
and Jamal Adams with the Connor Houston.
I seen that. I didn't even bother to look into it, but I seen Blunnett's comment. Apparently he said something about his wife.
Yes. Yikes.
Jamal Adams looks
Diana,
like more and more of a
Diana
piece of shit.
Tweeted right now, I guess, to counter all that's going on. She says that Aaron Rodgers reached out to Zach Wilson in an effort to advise him to resume the starter role, but at the time, Wilson remained apprehensive due to perceived injury risk.
That just happened 12 minutes ago, right? That just happened 12 minutes ago.
That says 1 minute ago she tweeted it.
God.
We're worried about injuries now, Zach. You're not AI. You're not AI. This isn't that infamous speech for you. Injuries? That's where we're going with this, Zach. You need understand this, Zach.
So
I don't want to
has
shit on
our
you. You are one of the worst quarterback in the NFL to come in 50 plus years of football. You should need and take every single opportunity that comes your way to go out there and try to put out some level of decent tape, right? Because as far as we know, if we wash your hands of Zach this season, no other team is looking at you. Not for a starting position, not for a backup quarterback job. They wouldn't even have you on the practice squad.
I don't know about that, bro.
I don't see it happening.
I'm looking at this press conference. Someone asked Saleh if Zach Wilson's. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is going to play this week, and Saleh just literally just said, "Don't hold your breath." What the fuck are we doing, bro?
Why would you even ask that?
Why would you fucking ask that? Serious? This is a joke.
But okay, listen. If Sam Darnold got another opportunity.
Whoa, pause already.
Whoa.
We're not saying Zach Wilson is in the same realm as Sam Darnold.
No, not at all.
No.
Okay. I will tell you this: the coaching of this team is worse than what he had with Adam Gase, and I think everybody will look at that and think to themselves, "This kid has talent. I can do something that this trash coaching staff couldn't do." I think Zach Wilson will be on a roster next year. I think he'll be a backup starting off, and I pray we never see this kid start with a competent coaching staff, offensive line, and actual help around him. You know why I pray that? Because it will send this fan base into a spiral I don't know if we'll come back from in years. Because once Rodgers retires, we're going to be right back in quarterback purgatory. And to see Zach Wilson go off and have even like Geno Smith-like success would send this fan base into
I'm going to be fucking irate.
I'm going to be same here. I'm going to be livid beyond livid. So for our sake, we need to hope that he just gets to sit behind somebody and never takes the field, because I will be the first to say I think Zach Wilson is probably one of the most talented in terms of pure natural ability in the NFL. Some of the things the kid has done, we've looked at and be like, damn, how do you do that? And then in the same token, we're like, damn, why did he do that? Like, if somebody can fix this kid's brain, bro, I am terrified of how it will implode as a fan base. Will implode.
I'm in my feelings right now. I'm not too worried about it though, because everybody's talented. Ryan Leaf was great coming in. So was Russell coming in. So was a million other round one quarterbacks coming in. Like, if we looked at that same draft class, Zach Wilson wouldn't be the first guy that I go to and say, hey, this is the reclamation project I want to try to salvage. I would still be looking at a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance if it was me personally. But taking that same kind of thought process in mind, Trey Lance did end up with the Cowboys immediately. And that's with Dak Prescott being who Dak Prescott is. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, to be fair to Tigo's point and what I've seen some of you guys mention in the comments, I mean, the 49ers may swap out a Darnold for a Zach Wilson as like a backup situation, or carrying a third quarterback on the roster and kind of seeing what they can do with it. But there's not too many ideal situations out there either anyways. So I'm not too sure if we'll – I don't know. He might have to actually take a Geno Smith type course.
Yes.
Bounce around on a couple of
100%.
teams.
He's 23 years old. He's got plenty of time.
Yes, 100%. I think it'll happen. Tank Dell is out for the season.
I've seen.
TJ
against us
Uzomah's
this
on
weekend.
IR.
Yes, that's not bad too.
Probably means our tight end room just got better.
Facts, which is the saddest thing to say. I never pray on anybody's downfall, but
but who's gonna throw it to him and be accurate to throw at the tight end? So
I don't know. Like the thing that pisses me off the most about Zach is we heard for years now Robert Saleh praise, and even the teammates. So it's not like this is like opinionated thing. We've heard his teammates, we've heard the coaching staffs talk about how much time Zach Wilson invests in like the film room and all that kind of stuff, and the man still can't read the defense in 3 years. Like, I don't blame a coaching staff at that point if you can't recognize a basic defensive coverage and know how to attack it. And we've said that the coaching staffs have put like handcuffs on Zach Wilson and stuff too, but we've seen plenty of chances where Zach Wilson's audibled into out of a pass into a run, or out of one pass call into another one. So like he has a certain degree of freedom within the offense. I don't know. It's all the same point. To my end, my faith in Zach Wilson is at absolute zero. If somebody else can fix him, great
Right.
for them. Shitty on us, but I don't.
I'm just laughing at Rob Carpenter right now. Just had this quick text convo. I'm saying, stop believing these unanimous reports on the Jets the rest of the season. This way this season has gone, there will be every shady report to bring back the circus narrative.
But the thing is this, though, like, at least it'll be entertaining. More entertaining than what the Jets have been putting out there for us to have to watch on Sundays.
Look, I'm not a guy that likes drama and BS parody stories, but that is all we have to look forward to this year. Like, literally,
this is just ridiculous. All right, guys, I gotta go, guys. Let's wrap this up.
I forgot something last week. I never announced the actual. I never announced that the random person from our giveaway yesterday, last week. So let me just share this real quick so everybody can see. I'm not picking no favorites out here. So we had what about?
Oh, okay.
I think we only had about 6 or 7 people that ended up like commenting and doing all the things, at least from what I've seen. So here we go. Either way. Oh shit.
Oh, Dark Soldier, you're the one that even said this shit. Look at him at the end.
Ain't this a bitch?
Hey,
Dark Soldier, man.
Dark Soldier.
My
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
This is the Sauce
Did you
Gardner
see his
jersey, right?
comments at the end? Did you see his comments at the
I
end?
thought it was the GW one.
Garrett Wilson jersey. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure which one it was.
Yeah.
All right, Dark Soldier. I'm going to text you. I'm going to need your address. I think I have it, actually. But just in case, text me your address, bro. I'll get that in the mail for
Junior.
you here tomorrow.
He's like it. Junior Rudy, this shit's rigged.
Shit's rigged.
No, but look at
It's
Soldier.
funny.
Look at
Dark
Soldier.
Soldier. Was it me?
You said
In the
if
same
not,
token.
rigged.
If not, it's rigged.
Rigged.
Then hell yeah.
The 3 stages.
Now that's a
of Dark
roller coaster
Soldier.
of emotions.
In 2 minutes, that's
Hey.
what his life was.
Look,
Oh man.
I'm glad we got to end on a positive note because things was getting dark
Yeah.
there for a
No,
minute.
we're happy
Right?
for
real,
we're happy
real.
for
What
you.
you mean?
Dude.
I'm very happy for you,
I'm
Dark
happy
Soldier.
for you, Dark. Come on, man.
What you mean now?
Come on.
Oh, he's talking about. I think he's talking about Junior. Junior Rudy. He's talking about it's rigged.
I'm crying.
I'm dead. What a way to end
man.
it. What a way to end it.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
as
well-
mentioned, Dark, get in touch with your boys so we can get you what you need. And
Oh, boy.
let me think. Do I got anything positive for y'all to end stuff? New year, new team. I don't know. That's what we're gonna roll with. 2024, new year, new team.
Here, clear eyes, full hearts, lose.
Realize. All right, we
Tank for MHJ. Tank for MHJ. Tank for MHJ.
No, fuck. It's the first time I'm rooting for an actual tanking season.
No,
It's time.
Disgraceful.
it's horrible.
Hey, this is our story. We are Jets fans. It's our origin story.
Disgraceful.
Oh my gosh.
MHJ season.
Premiering
right
on
now.
Dateline.
Bruh. I'm gonna need one of them life alert bracelets in a minute. Fucking with this Jets team.
We're gonna need those Apple watches to make sure our blood pressure's not going anywhere.
God, this team really does
Anyways.
number on us.
Anyways,
I
guys,
feel-
we'll be back.
I
We'll be
feel-
back next Monday, guys, at 12 p.m. Banks time, Gunny and me's time at 2 p.m. And we'll see what happens against the Texans.
L.
Man. Shit, yeah. I'm expecting like a 14 to 20 point L.
It's gonna be a 10-3 loss. Texans win.
I was going to say like
Disrespecting our
13-6,
defense like that.
13-6 Texans, 13-6
10-3
Texans.
Texans with the dub.
I can't. We're gonna see Robert
Oh my
Woods
God.
come in and drop a career high on us.
Well, since Dell is out, yeah, maybe.
Oh, God. Don't that'd be embarrassing. But it wouldn't surprise me at the same
That
time.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. All right, we love you guys. We'll be back next Monday. Thank you for following all of us. We appreciate you. Go Jets? ?